Hey guys, Jason here from SMYD Accounting and Advisory. Now this one is a very important one in today's climate. It's something that has been so neglected and overlooked over the past 2 years whilst we've had all these good times rolling, that right now it's come back to us and it's kicking so many of us in the backside. That is the 7 causes of poor cash flow. It is so important that in our business we can understand which one of these is either A, causing us to have poor cash flow, or B, is a risk to us having poor cash flow. So I really want you to apply this to your business and understand, is it causing poor cash flow, or is it potentially, or could it potentially cause poor cash flow for us? So the first one is our debtors process. So what's our debtor days? How long is it between us doing some work and then invoicing it out and then getting paid? Have we got people that are paying us the 20th of the following month or any of that nonsense where we've done all the work and we're basically the bank of that client? Okay, really we need to understand how long it is between when we do work and when we get paid, because it may not be the right terms for us based on when we're then paying suppliers, contractors and other people within that business. So what can we do to shorten our debtor days? Conversely, creditor days, creditor payments. What are our terms to paying our suppliers? In terms of the debtors, it may actually be that our supplier terms are actually terrible and we're hemorrhaging cash out to pay our suppliers at actually the worst time of the month for our business. So are there options for us to spread payment? Can we do part payment, or are there certain other times that it's actually better for us to make those supplier payments? Can we combine them all to be going out on one day when we know we're getting paid as well, so we're not consistently having money coming in or coming out at different times? Really understanding that money coming in through debtors and going out through creditors and seeing what we can do to try and make it more beneficial to our business will make a big difference to our cash flow. Now, it may not be that any of them are causing any problems in the business. So the next thing we can look at is our inventory. Now, if you are selling products at right now, it's a really tough time, especially for businesses who last year couldn't get products for love nor money. Now, all of a sudden, they've all come in and they've all come in at a lot higher price than what they thought they were going to be paying. But of course, everyone else has those products, and now we're actually seeing a little bit of a market being flooded with them. So understanding how long are we having our hard-earned cash sitting in the shelves? How much cash is currently in that warehouse because we're not able to move it out the door? So really understanding our inventory turnover days. How long is it taking us to pay the supplier for that inventory to then arrive, for it then to sit in the warehouse and then go out to the customer? How long is that day? Is that time? Because that's a long time for our hard-earned cash just to be sitting there doing nothing for us. So how can we shorten that? Have we got some stock that's just sitting out there completely dead? What can we do to get rid of it to try and convert it into cash? Answering all those questions and really getting across your inventory management will go a long way to helping sort out that cash flow if that's what it's causing. The next aspect to look at is our debt to capital structure. How much debt have we got in the business, basically? Big issue for a lot of people with interest rates rising. What are our options we've got for those debts? Can we restructure them? Can we work with our lenders to find a better solution that's better tailored to our business? Just going along and actually watching it cripple our business because of the cash flow that's going out or hemorrhaging out for that debt is not a great solution. So what are the options we have if our debt capital structure is actually what's causing our poor cash flow? The fifth area that we need to look at, and something once again that we overlook it all the time, is what are our gross margin? What are our margins on our products? Okay, are our margins enough that it's actually keeping enough cash left over to pay for our overhead, pay for our debt, and then pay us out the profit? Just keeping an eye on the margins is so important at the moment. So is our gross margin high enough? If your gross margin's too low, quite often that's going to be an area that's going to cause some cash flow stress within your business. Checking our overheads. We need to be looking at our overheads right now, and we need to be really analyzing the spend that we're making. Do we need to be making the spend right now in whatever area? What can we do to reduce that overhead spend that's not going to cripple the long-term growth of our business. We don't want to cut off our nose to spite our face. We want to ensure that any money going out the door is an essential investment that we're making in that business. Okay, can we look at our rent terms? Can we look at our insurance? What can we impact and alter on any of those expenses in our overheads? Finally, and one of the most often overlooked aspects of cash flow issues, and something that sadly I encounter all too often with businesses, is, are our sales even enough to fund our business and our lifestyle? Are we just living beyond our means? Okay, now this here may not actually be an issue with cash flow in the business. It's just simply that we might have a mortgage or commitments or toys or holidays or whatever it is in our personal life that's actually requiring us to suck too much cash out of the business to fund it, and that's leaving the business high and dry without enough cash for it to actually grow. So actually have we done a personal budget? If we're on a salary, are we then dipping in and taking drawings as well of the business, which is we don't want to be doing? Or if we're not on a salary and we're just on drawings, how much are we taking out? Are we living beyond our means? In summary, those 7 causes are, it's either going to be your debtors or your creditors, the way that you've been set up with them, your inventory management, okay, your debt, or your capital structure, all right? Your gross margins are too low, your overheads are too high, or unfortunately, your personal life, you're just living beyond your means and you're sucking too much cash out of your business. Now, one thing I can guarantee that if you do work with us at SMYD Accounting Advisory is that if we are going to work with you on a cash flow management plan, we will identify what is causing you to have some cash flow stress. And at least then we can provide you with that insight so you can start making those proactive decisions. You can take ownership, you can become accountable, and you can actually set yourself to be responsible for making that change that may actually be the difference between you having some cash flow stress and actually being a little bit more cash flow free. If you are having any issues in cash flow of your business, I plead with you, please get in touch with us to help you identify if it's one of those 7 causes.